Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of Mom Can You Not? My name is Coco and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host as always, Mama.
Makadi kuhama vadiwani vateereri tapa episode yechipfumbamwe mufunge mwari ngaakudzwe muri sei kumativi mana enyika kwese kwamunotiteerera isu vashamarari venyu.
Yeah, we're on episode 9. Can you believe
Episode
it?
9, can you imagine?
Every single time I'm like, can you believe we've made it so far? But this was just supposed to be like,
Just
was
what?
it a joke? I don't know.
Yeah, because somebody said, why don't you have a podcast? And we're like, yeah, right. And we just decided we're going just to do one episode and see how it goes.
Yeah, and just see how it goes.
But our TikTok family, shout out to our TikTok family. You know, every time I've gone international, guys. Not international, national. You know, the other day I was
international, because national is the UK.
Yeah,
We're British,
let's keep it national, babe.
International. Most of our analytics are Zimbabwe, South Africa,
no, I'm saying
America.
where I'm recognized the most, because I don't know actually
But you went to
internationally a little bit.
Australia
Yeah, internationally a little bit.
Did you meet anyone in South Africa?
Oh, tons. In South Africa, I met loads of people. But nationally, every time I go, I can never get used to it. When I see one of the Bonfofo family, they say that I've got such a distinct voice. And the amount of times I see people it's normally in shops.
Yeah.
And then the other time I saw a Bonfofo family in Oxford. Can you imagine? In Waitrose.
Yeah.
And I was talking on my phone. I think I was talking to you. And then they came. This has happened to me like 3 times now. And they're like, I could just hear Izwipam sort of when you're talking. And I was like, oh, hi, how are you keeping?
Even when we went to Amafest.
Yeah. Amafest was fantastic. You know, I really, really, genuinely love meeting you guys in person. And because sometimes, you know, when you're doing this, you don't actually know that there are actual human beings behind this. So anytime you hear my voice, you see me somewhere, please come and say hi. And I'm so bait because when you see the loudest, oldest woman in the room, it's probably me. And I'm so happy with all the love you show me. I've never seen anyone being very negative with me or being nasty, which is very good. That's the Zimbabwean thing.
Yeah, we've got a nice community.
Yeah. And thank you. And thank you if you're on TikTok. Thank you for everyone who came to ask for my money. Because I was just about to be jacked by yours truly. So basically, right, it's the principle. Let me explain. I am going to tell the story.
People think I robbed you
Please
in the night.
do not pressure me. I'm going to explain.
From the start.
Right. So basically, I've never actually bought myself an Apple Watch. I'll say that. The Apple Watches I have, she has bought me. But now, when they're in my possession...
This baby even asked for an upgrade.
Yeah. Why shouldn't I?
After 2 years, she was like, there's new Apple.
Because now I was actually thinking there's the ones with a bigger face.
Well, they've released another one.
And not yet. But yeah, I think they have. I don't know. But I want the ones with the bigger face. I want the bigger face.
I think every 2 years is decent, not like... before then.
So anyway, let me explain because she just wants to. So when we are looking at legally, 90% possession is ownership, isn't it? It doesn't matter how you got it. Once it's yours, it's now yours. You can do what you like with your when you want to. So basically, I had 2 Apple Watches. I had just gone for an upgrade. This one, which she bought as well. So the first one that she bought, I was not using.
Yeah.
So I said to her, I've got a spare Apple Watch. Can I sell it to you? Right. Can I?
No. That's what happened.
What happened?
You don't even tell the full story.
What?
Yeah. So, Mom was like, she wants to start her fitness journey, 3 years ago. She's like, I want to start my fitness journey and I can't be fit without an Apple Watch. And I was like, why do you need an Apple Watch to be fit? And she didn't want a Fitbit or anything or a Garmin. She wanted an Apple Watch. So, gathered up my little coins and I got her the Apple Watch. Then after 2 years, she started hinting that she wanted an upgrade.
Yeah.
Right? So I got my little coins together and I got her an upgrade, right? I didn't ask her for her previous
right.
Apple Watch.
So you see, this is a thing.
Listen,
no, hold up.
I didn't say to her, give me your Apple Watch.
I did not say.
I then started my fitness journey and she was like, oh, babes, you know what? I've got the spare
Like
Apple
you,
Watch.
no, like you do when you're selling something on Amazon.
Because it's looking so sad, like it's just sat there and I don't use it anymore. Because I think her plan was to use both of them, but she was like working a lot. She couldn't use both of them. She was like, oh, you know what? It's just looking sad sitting there. Do you want to have my Apple Watch, right? Do you want to have my Apple Watch? Then she goes to me after, well, you know this Apple Watch costs a lot of money. I don't know who it costs a lot of money because it wasn't her. It costs a lot of money. I can't just give it to you. Yo, pass me to Maddie, like for the Apple Watch.
You see now these are different vantage points. You know, because she had started exercising. She's not much of a watch girly, to be honest.
Yeah,
she doesn't do watches like that.
Babe.
And she knows me. I don't resell my stuff.
She doesn't like to share.
I don't share my stuff, right?
She'll give you something, but she doesn't want.
I don't like it coming back and forth. If I give you something, you can have it. I don't want it to. No, say, can I have it back? But the thing is, the whole point. I never wanted to give her that Apple Watch. To be honest, I wanted to keep it for myself for sentimental reasons. She's bought me everything expensive that I own. She's bought it for me. My first ever LV was from her, because I'm not in the business of buying myself expensive things.
Genuine as well, not from the ways of
actually, not genuine stuff. I've got a LV key holder, very expensive. I've got an LV purse. I've got an LV perfume. She took me for my birthday to buy that. So she buys me expensive stuff. So I am very sentimental about things. I don't like using them. I don't like them to finish. So when I got this Apple, I kept that one for almost like 6 months, because I thought I had a plan. I would wear them on alternating days. I would wear that other one on Mondays, Tuesdays, but it didn't happen. So then I said to her, I am selling an Apple Watch. I was very clear from the outset that I am selling it. I want to sell it. I said it costs money. That's true. And I said I can't just give it to you.
But does it make sense that I ordered it 3 times?
But it doesn't make sense, because I could have sold it on eBay. So, because the whole point was I wasn't going to give it to somebody for free. So I say to you, it's there, and I'll give it to you at a discounted price of £100. And she said she was going to pay to me in installments. I said, I don't want installments. I want my money in cash. Run me my money in cash and I'll give it to you. Then she said, okay, I'll give it to you when I get money. So I gave it to her under the understanding that I was going to get £100 for my Apple Watch. And what happened? The girl just went quiet, and she decided to now go on TikTok, and now she's showing people how she's exercising.
I don't give you peace, Mom.
I've already explained that you bought the watch. What else why can people think that you don't give me my money? But if you've bought it for me, I can decide to sell it. I had your
fans like cooking me in the comments, Mom. Like,
no, they should. Because
talking about, Komariedu, where's our money? Like,
anyway, thank you very much to my fan base for coming and cooking. Because that 100, I've never been running £100 so quick. It came, and I had to come out to my friends on the internet and tell them that I was being randed in it. No rand wakataris. Anyway,
but it's good though. I've been using it and I use it religiously, tracking my calendar.
And the thing is, my things, because I'm very good with my things.
You're good. If Mom gives you something, you're gonna get something that's like as good as straight from the shop.
Yeah,
it's always in pristine condition. She really looks after her things.
Yeah, like, I look after everything of mine.
For Mom to give you something that she's had, it's like an honor.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
You get a really good item. And
that's why I was asking for my £100, because it was actually bottom giveaway. It was me just giving away. £100 is not enough for an Apple Watch, but we move in it. We move. I got it back. Thank you.
Okay, Nana,
thank you, Bonfofo family, for getting me money. If I'm being treated or ill-treated, I know where to come. I'll just come to TikTok and explain the situation to you, because you always come and ride for me. So moving swiftly into what's our topic?
So today we're talking about family dynamics, right?
You know what? Funny enough, you've mentioned that we're doing family dynamics. Sorry to cut you. We don't tend to do trending topics, because sometimes by the time you get the podcast, the topic is no longer trending. But we're going to make an exception, because this is quite relevant, because whenever you're going to see the episode, it will still be relevant. Recently, the Mtukudzi girls came out on Beyonce's internet talking about how they grew up. And it was really sad because their dad is an icon. And when you're seeing things, that's why I'm always saying never meet your hero, because it will just flatline you.
Yeah.
So anyway, they came out on one of the, the Zim popular podcasts talking about their experiences being children from a previous marriage and how, everything wasn't equitable in how they were growing up. And there was quite a huge backlash. And the person who led the backlash is a person I don't want even to name because they're stupid. They came out.
Your arch nemesis.
My arch nemesis. Because if I name him,
his
little minions will come and start saying, yeah, talking about. Don't come under these comments going, talking about a daddy, yeah. So this person came up and said, oh, a woman this age talking about, their dad's wealth and whatever. All I want to say is I was raised by a stepmother. I was raised by a stepmother. I was a child from another relationship who came. I went to live with my stepmother when I was 14. That woman was cruel. And I'm not ashamed to say it because it's true. Even if she sees this podcast, I'm not bothered. I think the problem with our culture is that it gives a lot of voice to the abusers and quietens the ones who are being abused. So when you come out, even in families, the internet will show you exactly what Zimbabwe is like. That was in every nuclear family, you had people like that. You'd go to your aunt and go, so don't worry, uchakura, ndozvineitika. You're going to grow. That's what happens. God is for us all. Just keep quiet. That's what you're told. God is for us all. Just keep quiet. So abuse carries on because it's normalized. It's saying that God likes nerera. So carry on because God is going to bless you for all this pain you're going through. So it carries on. All this abuse, all this ill treatment. And, when people say, oh yeah, a grown woman, why are you still talking about things? Trauma manifests in different ways, guys. And this is me validating what the Mtukudzi girls were saying. You don't realize why you're the kind of person you are. You might think, oh, I've dealt with it. But sometimes, with me, my trauma manifests with my children. I don't have a child who will be babysat, ever. I don't want anyone to raise my children. I don't want my children in anybody's house. And to the extent that even if you're going to take care of my child, you take care of my child in my house. And it's not, and my friends have known that over the years. The only person who can take care of my children from my friends group is Tammy. And even when I was about to come to the UK, God love my mother-in-law, she would have taken good care of Coco, but I refused to come if I wasn't coming as a unit with my child. So and even up to now, I don't think, even my children are now grown, but I don't think anyone can take good care of them. I just don't. I don't want. So it manifests very negatively, even if I've grown, even if I've moved on from it. So we do not validate children when they're telling us that they're being abused. We rubbish it. We shame them for saying, oh, you know what? And we say, oh, you've grown. But trauma now manifests. Some people do not like to get married and they don't want to have children because they don't want their children to go through what they went through, So you cannot rubbish somebody's business.
Or some people will stay in toxic relationships because they don't want their children to have a stepmother.
Yeah. Exactly. So all those things come from abuse. And so, because I've seen people who are absolutely ravaged by it and they can never speak about it because they've been silenced from a very young age. And you know what? It comes in levels as well, because there is also the romanticizing the male parent or the parent you've got a biological link to. So you start saying, oh, you know what? My dad was so good. It was just this woman. Your father knew about it. I've always, when I started healing from how my stepmother abused me was when I called my father as a co-conspirator. I know my father loved me. I know my father had so much love for me, but because of the nature of their relationship, he never stood up for us. So what he would do is he would do things behind my stepmother's back, but he never wanted to sort of like confront her. One situation I can actually remember was, because my stepmother's favorite weapon for abusing us was food. That's why I see there's never not enough. There's always food in the house because that's another thing I'm obsessed with: food and soap. So my mother-in-law liked to hide soap for bathing.
Stepmom.
My stepmom. Sorry, my stepmother used to like to hide soap and hide food. So instead of my father confronting this and sorting it, my dad said, "Oh, you know what? Would give us money on the side, me and my stepbrother." Because I had a brother from my father's other previous relationship. So we were both victims of this woman. Yes, we were her victims. So she would hide things from us, or, sneak food to her children and not give us food and stuff like that. Some very nasty horribleness. And when you mentioned it to your other family to say, look, this is happening, they'll be like, oh, you know what, God is for us. Or
with the gaslights, the situation.
Yeah. Or what do you mean that she's hiding? Because obviously she was very sweet to other people, but particularly reserved all this nasty energy for us. So my dad, instead of confronting the situation headstrong and having this conversation and having it out with the wife, he wouldn't. He would just do sneaky things, sneak money to us, or tell his workplace to give us money, as opposed to just talking to this woman and saying what you're saying is wrong. So as children from abuse, we want to romanticize, because that's what came out from what Sandra was saying, that, oh, my dad didn't. Sort of like, I'm not saying she was excusing it. Maybe that's her way of dealing with her trauma. Because if she then now names her father as a co-conspirator, I think she might actually unravel.
But do you think it's not part of that you can't speak ill of the dead? Like, Channel culture has like a lot of reverence for people who've passed. So maybe that's where it's coming from. Like,
well,
deep down,
I think it's that, but I think even if that man was still alive, she still would be speaking of him so well. Because the other thing is, they're in a difficult position, not like me. I'm not like them, because my dad wasn't well known, wasn't an icon, because their father was an excellent person in many other aspects of his life. But then as a father, there are some things I think he fell short in. This is me just looking from the outside and trying to pick my own experience, and I can't piggyback my experience on their experience because it's different. Maybe their father was a very good dad, but I'm saying in abuse situations where you're being abused by a stepmother, it seems that the wrath for the healing children, the wrath for the children who are abused, is normally targeted at the female who's the stepmother, as opposed to the father, the co-conspirator, who's the father, who sort of like turned a blind eye on this, all of your abuse going on. And shout out.
And it seems like sometimes like the woman will be hurting in the relationship and she takes it out on the children.
Yes. And because that's what I was going to get to. My father was a very good father, but a horrible husband. My father was not good to my stepmother. And I think also, because in a way, I don't forgive the abuse, because there's no excuse for anyone taking out whatever your marital problems are on children. You can come. And the other thing is, especially, there are different stepchildren, right? There are stepchildren who are older than the marriage, right? Those ones, I think they're untouchable because you came into it knowingly. Not excusing the ones that come out of an affair as well. Those are another. Because there are stepchildren who are a reminder. Because I remember.
Or a result of someone's infidelity.
Infidelity. Because I remember one of my friends.
That's quite popular in.
Yeah. So those children who are, I think, also because they're different, those ones. You've been knowing before you married your husband that your husband has got children from other relationships, and you were okay with it, marrying a husband with children. Now, there is another group of children who come, those ones that are younger than your marriage, those ones who come when you've been married and thinking you're doing well, and then all of a sudden your husband says, God, I've got a child and I'm bringing that child for you to take care of them. Those ones, there are conversations that need to be had. Those ones are children out of infidelity, and sometimes they are a symbol of a constant reminder that your husband cheated on. And those also have got their own level of abuse, because there's the emotional abuse of the infidelity, and the other abuse that these children, the older ones, have, that they are not my children, because you are always told, Why should I do anything? You're not my child. Now these ones are coming about. You see. So I want to say, their pain, regardless of their age, whether they are younger, older, just newly born, let's validate their pain. Pain is ageless. And sometimes it seeps into some of your relationships without even you realizing it, that this is stemming from the abuse I got from another woman. And also, if you can't take care of people's children, be honest. Be honest and say, I cannot do it. Be very honest.
But the motivation that I've had is that, so that the children are in your house and your baby dad won't be going over there to look after his kids and making more children.
but that's the wrong motivation, because now
that is the motivation.
Exactly. Some of it, that's the motivation. One of my friends actually, what happened to her, the dad was in a relationship. The dad was very well known. The dad was quite a famous person. So the dad would go around,
spreading his
his
fruits.
So what happened was, in his actual marriage, they didn't have children. This mother could not have children. And then one day, this girl, she was young. She just got in contact with a famous person, ended up pregnant. So she rocks up to this person's workplace with a 3-month-old baby, drinking Coca-Cola from a bottle, and leaves the child at the reception with the receptionist and says, let's say her name is Linda. My name is Linda. Say, Linda has left this baby for you. You can take care of your baby. So this baby doesn't have changing clothes. That's my friend now. She doesn't have any changing clothes, no food,
What, is
no
your friend the
nothing.
baby?
My friend is the baby.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's left at 3 months with a Coca-Cola bottle, Coca-Cola in a baby bottle, not milk, but Coca-Cola, and no nappies, nothing. At a reception, the dad is out on business. The dad comes back, and this receptionist has not done any work the whole of today apart from tending to this wailing child who doesn't drink anything else apart from Coca-Cola.
Oh my gosh.
So what, he was about to go out of the country on another big business meeting. So he takes this baby, wrapped in newspapers, because at this point this baby is wet, soaking wet, they don't have any nappies. Takes this baby to the wife with 5 bottles of Coca-Cola and says she doesn't drink anything apart from Coke. Try milk, she will not do it. See you later, I'll explain when I've come back. She's definitely mine. So she's left with this woman who doesn't even know where this baby has come from, and good luck.
And a bottle of Coke.
And 5 bottles of Coca-Cola. She has not have any, she's been married to this man for a very long time. She's not had any kids of her own. She's now left with a baby. And this is almost 3 months. So in the last 12 months, your husband has cheated. So she's left with this baby. She gets on with it. She goes out, starts training this baby. Apparently, my friend was saying that she when she was young, from what she was told by this lovely mother who stepped up, she didn't like to be held. She just wanted a bottle of Coca-Cola, and that's all she drank. If you try to give her milk, she would be sick. And all this is happening. The husband is away on a business trip for 3 months in Europe. You are just communicating over the phone. And you're asking, where is this baby from? It's like, it's a long story, I'll explain. She stepped up, raised this baby girl. She's an amazing corporate baddie, my friend is. From the love from this woman who never asked questions. And when she went to university and she studied and she's become a corporate hand, the mom, now a nitty, came back into her life and said, oh, you're my daughter and whatever. And she had all those mixed feelings because she wanted to get to know this woman, what's her pain, what's her issue. But she also didn't want to break her own mom who stepped up and raised her. So it was sort of very difficult for her. But why she was saying it's not all that bad. I was raised by a mother who actually didn't ask any questions about where I came from and was literally, to the deep end. So it can be done. She was forced to resolve her own emotions, her own questions about fidelity, and then love me at the same time. But she did it. She did it very well. She had such an amazing life. If you see her photos, her life was blessed, and that woman loved her and still loves her to now. She loved her until the day she took her last breath, and she was a loved child. So, there's no excuse, absolutely none.
So the evil stepmother is a choice.
It's a choice, yeah. Because this woman could have just turned around and said, you know what, by the time you come back, she could have done anything because this baby was helpless. This is a 3-month-old baby who drinks Coca-Cola only and nothing else. You are within your right to call all the family and call a family meeting.
You know what? I don't know if it's like the times or what, but like with going back to the Mtukudzi girls, I think what they did was very commendable because I don't think that's acceptable behavior in Shona culture, but I think that the story is a very common one and it's one that deserves to be heard, and it takes a lot of courage.
And look at the backlash.
And they weren't being nasty about her. They were being very matter of fact. They were not derogatory.
Look at the backlash and how people wanted to protect the adult in this, because these kids, when they met this woman, they were still children, and they were children in this whatever. They are now adults, yes, but when they were encountering this, when you are going through abuse and you're younger, you don't have vocabulary for it, and the go-to point is maybe there's something wrong with me. Surely, why would she treat me like this? I think if I'm a little bit better, one of the things that is very, prevalent in children of abuse is the need to be accepted. You go above and beyond, to try and even if you were not abused, like my friend, she is a go-getter. She works very hard, and some of it, she says, it's a trauma response because why would your own mother leave you when you're 3 months, to the mercy of strangers? So she is, some of her perfectionism, some of her love to do things and be above and beyond comes from that. And I think that's the same with the Mtukudzi girls. They've gone and done a lot of good things for themselves, their own names. Selma is taking her father's legacy to where it needs to go. She's got the voice for it. She looks, the temperament for it, exactly. Yeah. So for them to speak about is their truth, and the other thing my grandmother used to say, if you watch episode 8, episode 9, the other truth my grandmother said, if it's the truth, anyone can say it. If it's the truth, anyone can say it. That's their truth. They can say it. We are I believe what they're saying. That's why I'm saying it. So let's not try and quieten down people's truth because it makes us uncomfortable. It makes us unhappy. It is their truth. They are the ones. Can you imagine a dog being cooked for and then part of the meal is yours? And I understand that because what my stepmother used to do. She used to do something like that, right? She didn't take it to the dog because we didn't have a dog. If we had a dog, she probably would. But she would do this thing where she would feed her kids when they are full. The leftovers, that's what she would give to us. We could not sit at the same time as they were eating. Or she'd make sure if we are away, she'd make sure that they've ate, so that when we come back, the house, there's no food. And when you ask her, paneche kujika, she'll be like, what do you mean paneche kujika? Who am I? Am I supposed to cook for you? Am I your mother? You're just like, it's food, But there are people like that. And what they are saying is very true. And I believe every word that Selma and Sandra spoke. And we need to learn to validate children. Our children, if you're an aunt in a relationship or, an uncle, when kids come to you to say they're being abused by your brother's wife, whatever, validate them, love on them, confront it. It's these adults who go, we cannot do that. It's rocking the boat. It's making it. talk about it.
Rock the damn boat.
Rock it until it's sinking, because what is it like? Something that they say that was my stepmother's go-to. You know what she did when I got married? They do this thing. They control space. They control relatives. They control narratives. They like doing that. The stepmothers, and they do that because our fathers would let them. Because the day I was going to get married, she had agreed. She had been told that it was going to happen at her house. She had agreed to all of this. On the day, she wouldn't open the doors. And there's a whole family of Okwasha outside. On that day, that's the day she decided she was going to kick off some drama. And I remember my uncles, my father's brothers coming out and saying, we need to find another venue because she's not doing it. This is where I've got so much love for my stepbrother. You know what? He's got his faults as a person.
Hold on. I want to ask, why do you guys say stepbrother when you're siblings? Like, your stepbrother is the one that you're not related to.
I'm not.
You share the same dad.
We share the same
dad.
Yeah,
so that's your half brother.
Okay, my half brother.
Yeah, but everybody does it. Like, if it's your mom's child, it's your sibling. But if it's your dad's child, it's your step.
That's my half brother.
Yeah.
So on the day, right, my father was beyond reproach, and not beyond reproach, beyond shocked, because my father was non-confrontational. He was never one who was going to challenge my stepmother, and my stepmother was about that life. And I could hear her screaming in her, I'm not going to be treated like this. This is my house. It's not going to happen there, right? And
okay, Chelsea.
If it wasn't for my half-brother, so my half-brother was like, no, fuck this nonsense. We're tired of this woman. So he kicks the door in, right? And he was like, this is going to happen here, whether you like it or not. And then she was like, and then what? And my half-brother slapped him. And for the first time, slapped her. For the first time, that's when I saw my dad slapping this woman. And then there was a big hoo-ha. And now salads are flying all over the place. People are fighting. It ended up happening with people with scratches and bruises and everything. She didn't sit anywhere. She didn't stay. So she would do this thing where she would be saying, we've wronged her, and she wants Dari. She wants people to meet so that we can discuss what has been done to her. People turn up on the day she doesn't open a door. Like what Selmor and Sandra were talking about when they rocked up in their mom's car to go and apologize after apologizing via the press.
You know what I want to ask you? Like, what is it? Is it called, I don't know what the term is, but let's say you wrong a family member, like your mom or like...
Kuripa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me? Like, what is that about?
So basically, right, so mothers are not your relatives, right?
Okay.
So in Shona culture, you're not supposed to answer them back. You're not supposed to be rude
they're not your
to
mates.
them because they're not your mates and you're not related to them. And if your mother is upset with you, it can bring bad fortune and what is called ngozi or evil spirits. I've only seen it once in my life when people Kutanda Botso. Like if you say, if you are really about that life and you slap your mom, you have to do this thing, which is because there are some people who are about that life that they'll throw hands or their mothers.
Hands on your mom is a wild.
So they'll throw hands on their mama. So if you throw hands on your mama in our culture, we need to Kutanda Botso.
Okay.
So Kutanda Botso is you take off your day-to-day garments and you wear, I don't know, masaga.
Oh,
no, masaga.
Yeah.
Like you wear masaga and you go around in your village or people around and you tell them and you go like and live a life.
Ritual.
Yeah, it's like a humiliation ritual until your mother is satisfied, right, that you've done it. And then you have to also appease her by, in some cases, it depends with what she wants, because she might turn around and say she wants 5 cows. So you have to give them to her so that she finds peace in her heart. So if she doesn't, because the other thing mothers used to do, right? This is not in my situation, but I've seen it happen with people's mothers, where they'll bring their brothers and say, like you are just talking, like having a conversation, then you give a spicy response. Like you just go, in just short time. So the whole clan will be called. The whole village will be called.
For your sassiness.
For your sassiness, right? So they'll be like, kanamazuna ndafa ndauraiwa neyu ne-BP.
Yeah.
Because anondipindura zvanoda. Or when she's beating you up and you raise your hands. Then she says, you wanted to fight her. And she will... You know, one of my best friends, he's a boy, right? He was, when we were growing up, the mom used to like this thing because the mom was very much a gunvoster. The mom used to actually, square up. Yeah. Literally square up. And thank God she had baby boys.
Yeah.
So she would square up with them. She would, like with the older brother, Percy. Shout out to Percy. So Percy was always at the receiving end of Auntie's wrath, right? Because so one day he held the belt as the mom was using it. So the mom put the belt down and she actually said, come out because I don't want to break any of my hard-end furniture. Come out, let's there's enough space. I want you to fight me. So squared up to him, right? So he didn't square, he was literally like this. His hands were like, Mom, I can't fight you because you're my mom. I was like, no.
You want to tussle with me?
Because the fact that you held my instrument of pain means that you want to square up to me. And she was like, I'm not cooking any sadza. You're not coming into my house until you square up to me. Run up. And he was like, I'm not running up to you. You can do. And he's like, run up right now. And she insisted. And this is a woman going round, like this, going round and round the sun, going and kicking the whatever and taking off her and going, we're going to have to do this. So he wasn't squaring up. He was just standing there because he was a tall boy as well. Because it's very uncommon in Zim to meet tall, always, this.
Tall black men.
It's always
deep.
The tall black man. It's always this short little man. He was very tall. He was, like he had presence. Percy had presence. So now, Auntie was like, you are actually, because you're a grown man. Because if you can hold my apparatus and if you can stop me from using the belt on you.
So you're about it.
You're about it. So, and I'm also about it. And she used to say,
she was in Baddies.
She actually, she could actually, if Baddies Zimbabwe was there, I would actually nominate her because she was about that life. Yeah. So anyway, she was like, no sadza is going to be cooked here until you square up or you run up. So he wasn't running up, right? So hours and hours of this stalemate, he's refusing. So she runs up.
Yeah.
She runs up, right? And he blocks her. Oh my goodness me. He blocks her, and the worst thing happened. She swayed and fell. Oh my goodness me. Rodi was Percy's brother, so Rodi was my friend. And so we were called because Rodi wouldn't go anywhere without me. And obviously, Auntie liked a bit of,
Pasa.
Not
she liked
pasa.
Controversy.
No. Liked a bit of audience.
Oh,
whatever she was doing.
Yeah.
So basically, because Rodi was there, Rodi witnessed this, right? I came, when the squaring was happening, I was going to the shops. So when I came back from the shops, Auntie was on the floor and she was refusing to come off because she said he pushed her and she had broke something. So she was going to remain on the floor until her brother, who lived in Kambuzuma, because we lived in Warren Park at this point, had been called. So she was not going to, she didn't want the ambulance to be called. She didn't want to be moved. She didn't want anything. And she wanted him to remain with his hands like this until the brother came to witness this, situation. Drama. So anyway, right. So Rodi and I were walking to go and get the uncle. And I'm saying, but when I left, Auntie was the one squaring up. And then my friend said, she actually ran up on him. And then he blocked and she fell. It's like, but what was he supposed to do? Just let her...
Lick him.
Anyway, so the uncle came and he was told that, he had beat his mom. So, because he was waiting actually to go and work. He was going to start his apprenticeship. So he was told that all his money until I think he was 25 was supposed to go to the mom to pay for this debt, right? So he's now on notice with his mom and is paying for this punch up he didn't do. Roddy comes back, right? Roddy comes back from school.
The drama.
Roddy comes back from school. This time Roddy's dating this girl, and Auntie did not like this girl. So I was called and I was told that I don't want, because Auntie would never tell the boys what he wanted to say without an audience. So I was called and I said, can you please tell your friend to stop dating this girl, because I don't want her to be if anything is to happen, she'll be my daughter-in-law, and I don't want her type to be my daughter-in-law. So my friend goes, Mom, if I don't date it, do you want me to date you? Hey!
Hey!
When the words were coming out of his mouth, they came in slow motion into my ears, and I was going, no. So she gets up and she's like, oh, now we're now talking about my anatomy. Now you're telling me that I can sleep with you. You might as well be my husband. And husbands fight their wives. Let's fight. So now, bear in mind, the other son is already on notice and is paying his monthly dues towards these bits that he didn't give her. Roddy was like, I'm going to run away.
Gosh.
And she chased after him. Whilst chasing after him, she got, akapidiguro. Like when you trips over something and she fell. It was
She pushed me.
He pushed me. I didn't do anything. The uncle is called again. The uncle says,
that is so... God, that's something.
So rest in peace, Roddy. Roddy died still paying for this debt. And we used to laugh about it. That, you know what? These parents, they do really like to tell us.
Shona course is very unique. Yeah. It's very unique, and
so from Percy paid. Was paying, I think, something like 200.
We can't even do our dilemma because I left my phone over there.
I think I read the dilemma.
Okay.
So we've already...
Yeah, we've got, in our last 10 minutes, let's bang out the dilemma. This lady is getting married, and she wants to have her friend's mum as like one of the people.
It's her Tete.
Yeah, as her Tete on the roora. And she told her mum that she wants to have her friend's mum fill that position, and her mum is like, why would you do that when you have a Tete who's alive, your father's sister? And then she's like, well, all my life you told me that Tete vanoroya. So why is it all of a sudden now this is my special day, you want to bring a witch to the wedding? So her argument is, you guys have been telling me Tete vanoroya, and we don't even have a relationship like that. So why would I compromise the most important day?
Didn't she say that even when they started dating with this fiance, the mom didn't want her?
Yeah, the mom was like, oh, don't tell your Tete because Tete vanoroya.
Yeah.
So now we've gotten to my pena. It's the penas, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've gone to my pena. Why is it that you now want me to have this woman front and center to my joy, when we all know that Tete vanoroya?
Right. Yeah. So she's asking me, is she wrong, that she doesn't want Tete to be part of this, and she's opting for her best friend's mom to play the Tete role. Right. She's a feminine icon.
But why is it that there's always a relative in every single family?
You know the thing is, personally, I think the family dynamics, they start from the time we get married. Like if my relationship with your dad's brother has always been confusing and difficult, I don't want you to then have a relationship with her, because the thing is, it becomes intertwined. And also, there's something again about maternal relationships, or maternal, is it the female relationships, maternal relationships, where you're very protective of your mother, right? So if you've seen these people doing your mom dirty over the years and just treating her like she's nobody, and your mom also, sometimes it's witchcraft, people think it's people who wake up at night naked and ride on top of owls or broomsticks. Mazizi. Witchcraft is, again, some of the things that families speak over their children. I don't think witchcraft is just that. So I think she's right in not wanting. I would personally encourage her.
But the mom will want the Tete there so that she can like show off.
You know what? No.
4K.
I don't think it's just that. I think sometimes parents want you to do the right thing and they sometimes set you little challenges to see if you're actually about that life. Yeah, because at the end of the day, if she decides on the day to say, I'm not going to have these women here, the mom will not do anything. The mom will still love her. She ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
And she'll actually be sniggering inside. But what she would like to say in the end will be like, ndakambo mudza. Was it, cause
so she's setting you up, basically.
She wants to see, because sometimes, I like to always take points of reference from things that have happened in my life. There are sometimes when you want your children to do the right thing by you over some very difficult in-laws. So you also don't want to say to them, sir, kuti sabata, like how you send dogs to bite. You don't want to do that to your children, but you're expecting that deep down in them, they have it in them to sabata for you.
Yeah.
And you actually are very proud when they take these very, very, very strong stances on your antagonizers or your abusers. So I think this mother, in a way, she actually is niggling. She knows. Because also as a parent, but if she's going to do it, please carry on. Because I think,
so you're saying the mama ain't going to do shit.
She's not going to do anything. Carry on, baby girl. Your mom is going to love you. She's not going to not come to your roora because she's not going to miss on sitting there and seeing the festivities. Over Tete vanoroya, never. And if kana roya, the better ngavaendi. And some of these Tete vatinotana, they don't have any good interest for your children. They have said it. They don't care for your children as much as you want them to care for them.
Yeah.
So sometimes putting these people front center who don't have a relationship with your child, why? For what? The better this woman who's always been in your daughter's life, who actually knows the history of where they met, how they met, and how they are doing in their relationship. Just bringing somebody to be a ceremonial figure, just to come and just say, oh, I want my space. And the other thing, why people do all these things, we are held hostage with this culture thing.
Oh, my days. That's
work.
what I was even going to say. I feel like some people force to come like, you lot don't get along. You always try and shit about each other. Vanoroya, like, it's just so dead. And they'll just be forcing
Even
it.
you'll be told, I remember we would be told when we were younger with I grew up amongst my mother's family. I grew up amongst my mother's siblings, my mother's relatives. And I remember when we used to go kumusha, right? Because I used to go with them because we're growing up. My grandmother would go, please don't eat at this person's house. Please don't drink at this person's house. When we went to sleep.
These are your relatives.
Yeah. And then in the morning, when we wake up, makadi Tete. But, Tete, those type of things. So you're thinking, why are we cosplaying and faking it?
Yeah.
But that's what happens. And we are so good at it. Even at the weddings, sometimes, the politics of it, that you tell these people first before you tell these people. Because if you tell these people too early,
I eloped. I didn't know anybody else getting married.
Yeah.
Mom just had.
But you see, this is the thing.
I didn't tell anybody because I don't want all this like
pasa.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes when you give your parents, you're not like this, but I feel like when you give the elders that, they hijack it.
And my stance on people's lives, I don't interfere. How you choose to do your things, I'll support it. If you decide that you're going to get married, you and your husband, and send us postcards after you've done it, I'm okay with it. Because you've got your reasons for doing that, because it's your life at the end of the day. I know we want to do things right, but are the people we are trying to do things right by doing the right thing? Exactly. So for you to take that stance that, you know what, I don't want you to invite it. Don't. It's your wedding. It's not your mom's. When your mom is getting married, she can invite you. So this is the thing, because I don't think we are doing the right thing by our children. I don't think we are doing the right thing by our families, by, imposing these relationships on them, imposing relationships for people who don't. I think family is what we build ourselves. Family
I think that.
Are people. My blood relatives are. If they are good to us, let's be good to them. Yes,
I've had that one.
Let's not harm each other under the guise of ukama, because most of the amount of pain we give each other under these biological links. Personally, I know this sounds very controversial. Your relatives are what you build. You can have mkomono next door. Do whatever, build your own pseudo families. In those biological families, those who have been done the right thing. I think we
should be in community. It's very important, but Fukama, sometimes it's questionable.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to question who is your biggest op, and sometimes it's those people you call
because they also say the only people who can bang juju on you are the ones you're related to. A random person can't bang juju on you.
Yeah, because one who could not take it from Zimo, say and whatever and things like that. And some of the times, the amount of times I've seen people run up on their aunts, and I've been like, one of my friends, right? She was going to get married, and the aunt called the husband to the side, had a side meeting and said, you know what, you're marrying her. She's been with this man, been with this man, been with this man, been with this man. At least she had herself, the husband knew all this because they had a conversation about it, and she had declared all her past misgivings. Right. So when the aunt was doing it, and she didn't know because this aunt was smiling at her, Tete,
her face.
So then the husband got drunk one day. She goes, this woman you're calling your aunt, this is what she's been telling you. And you actually even had, the evidence. Some of it were texts. So my friend wasn't having it, innit? So on the day of the marriage, she decided not to call this aunt, but the aunt came anyway because she was also about that life. So they came so as they sat there, she's just thinking, like a proper buddy, I'll find a time when I can just, square up to this woman. So she goes, you know what, there's nothing you can do to me because I was here when it was starting. I know that, right? So as the day is going, she's boiling and boiling and boiling. So it came to a point where apparently there's this money which is supposed to be given to the sisters and the aunt. Right. As soon as she tried to put her hands into that, that's when she just decided to lick her. She decided to have a big one there. Catch a fade, catch a fade, catch a fade. By the time the uncles came and tried to, those 5 seconds were enough. She was already bleeding and she had a big eye.
Oh my day.
And now people were like, why did you do that in the Tete? And then she explained the situation. She was like, because of her, this wouldn't have. If my husband did not know half of the things that my Tete was telling her, wouldn't be married.
God damn. And on that note, that is the end of episode 9.
Please.
Wait. It's end of episode 9, but what's our question of the day, Babes?
Question of the day. That's our question of the day. There's if it's reverse, amadze kwa baba or amadze kwa mai. Comment down. Just don't say the kwa baba and not say the reason.
Yeah, leave the reason. Thank you for joining us on episode 9 of Mom Can You Not, and we hope to see you on our next episode. Don't forget to
comment, like, and subscribe, and please share some parts of this with all your relatives and everybody, and let them comment till one day in our community, guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.